Now, ladies and gents, Nio today is trading down 4%, which of course this comes after Nio announced their Q4 earnings, which obviously we saw them failing to beat analyst expectations on both the revenues they generated and the earnings per share. Now, as in the screen, notice that analysts were expecting Nio to report total revenues of over 17.4 billion RMB or Chinese yen, of which we saw Nio just reporting total revenues of just over 16 billion RMB or Chinese yen. Same goes with the earnings per share. Analysts were expecting Nio to report an earnings per share of 1.8 RMB or Chinese yen, of which we saw Nio reporting a wider than expected loss of around a negative or a minus 3.07 RMB. Now, this is one of the things that is leading obviously Nio to, of course, opened, or which led into Nio opening down over 4% when the markets opened today. Now, though Nio missed analyst expectations, and things that even made matters worse is that the gross margin for the Q4 was extremely low, and obviously this, of course, Nio indicated that this was due or mainly due to, of course, the vehicle margins which were down and the sales margins which were low, or which were attributed by the automotive regulatory credits. Now, this obviously, this was not good to the new investors, including myself, and I saw that the margins for the Q4 were very low or extremely low. It did not really sit well with me at all. Though Nio, for the February deliveries, we saw them obviously delivering good delivery numbers, I think more than what most of us expected. The fact that, of course, the earnings were not that good and the guidance were also are not better or higher than the, of course, the deliveries or the guidance we saw for their Q4. It's something that, of course, it is making some of the new investors, including myself, to feel a bit sad. But nonetheless, this is a stock that one way or the other, I still feel like it is just set to do very well. Its fundamentals, its future prospects, I believe that it will propel it and it will flourish in the near future. So I'm going to continue holding my Nio stock positions, and if this stock drops further, I don't know, towards $7, $6, I'm going to find myself, or I'm definitely going to load the boat or increase my holdings onto this Nio stock. But before we dig deep into this video, remember that this video is an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit that likes button if you are enjoying, or if you do enjoy the content that I'm giving you about the Nio stock. Liking this video also helps with YouTube's algorithm, so I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart if you hit that likes button, as it also helps or boosts the YouTube's algorithm. So if you are new, or otherwise if you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. So yes, as I've said, Nio reported record-breaking, of course, earnings in terms of revenue, as Nio has never reported or has never seen total revenues of over 16 billion RMB or Chinese yen. So though they did not beat analyst expectations, something to note is that Nio's revenues continue to grow, or Nio's revenues continue to do well. Though in the Q1, I'm not sure if we could say the same, because the guidance that Nio gave for their Q1 earnings of 2023 is showing that they are expecting to deliver less cars than what they did in Q4, which is something that obviously, like I said, it's not good. But one thing for sure is that obviously we know that Nio, at least this year, worst case scenario, they're targeting to sell at least 200,000 vehicles, which I would personally think that maybe it might be possible. I would personally think that it would be possible. Reason being that Nio, by the second half of this year, they will be having 8 of course vehicles which are using their latest technology, which is the NT 2.0, which that, ladies and gents, will give a lot of consumers, or those people that want to buy the Nio cars, options to choose the kind of cars or the kind of Nio car they would want to go for. So I'm really hopeful that, especially in the second half of this year, we can see Nio doing really well in terms of their deliveries. Even from the Q2, you remember the CEO of Nio did indicate that, of course, the first 3 months of this year, of course, they are expecting supply chain or minor supply chain constraints issues, which obviously by the second quarter, it's when they expect zero supply chain issues, which is something that obviously will definitely boost the deliveries. Now, one thing that obviously, like I said, which was good on the whole of these earnings, or on these earnings, were the deliveries. When you, of course, ladies and gents, reported total deliveries in February, which had only, by the way, 28 days of around 12,157, which was up 43% from the January deliveries. This is something that I think is, though the earnings were not that good, it is something that should be quite notable, or it must be something that I think it is a good thing. It is promising that we might actually see Nio doing well in the coming months, coming quarters in terms of deliveries, because imagine if Nio was able to deliver 28 over 12,100 cars in just 28 days. With the full month, we are obviously going to expect, or we are to expect, Nio to report or to deliver some good delivery numbers. And the guidance, you remember that for the Q1 of 2023 is, of course, between 31 and 33,000 vehicles, which obviously that just has to show you, or that, ladies and gents, means that we can expect plus minus Nio to deliver 12,000 vehicles even for the month of March, which I personally believe that maybe they might try to, of course, deliver more than the guidance which they are giving us. So yeah, on average, Nio plans, or they are targeting, or their projection is, obviously they target on average to deliver around 12,000 vehicles for the month of March, which is something that, of course, it might be good, the fact that maybe it maintain the same delivery, or at least report better delivery numbers than the one that they are reporting now, as we know that yes, there are still some issues that Nio is still trying to resolve, trying to address, and by the end of Q1 we know that, of course, there won't be any issues of supply chain constraint, there won't be any issues of probably parts short, or some parts not available, as of course as per the CEO statements or comments made in December, that obviously we are to expect deliveries to start picking from there. Otherwise, I'm very excited about, like I said, the cars that are coming, or the new cars that Nio will be introducing, because on the earnings, Nio did say that they are going to introduce 5 cars, or they are going to deliver 5 cars this year, which is something that is incredible. And we already know the cars, that is the Nio EC7, EC8, which were, both of these cars were introduced or unveiled in Nio Day 2022. Then we also going to have the Nio EC6, Nio ES6, and probably the ET5 station wagon, which is something that obviously, to get to see that, it's something that really excites me as a new investor, to say that at least now those that want to buy the Nio cars, they will really have quite a number of options to choose from, which is something that is good. Now, one of the things that obviously it was quite not good for me was the guidance. Like I said, the Nio plans to deliver between 31 and 33,000, which at least I was expecting Nio to either target the same maybe delivery numbers they had reported for the month of, or for the Q4 of 2022, but yeah, we saw them, of course, dropping the guidance, and I'm hoping that, of course, in the Q2, Q3, or going to Q2, Q3, and Q4, they, of course, rapidly increase their guidance, trying to catch that over 200,000 vehicles, which they are targeting this year. Now, something that got me a bit worried, of course, is, of course, the cash and cash equivalents, which, ladies and gents, you will know that when they did their Q3 earnings, it was over $7 billion. Now, ladies and gents, after they report their Q4 earnings, we saw that it is now just over $6 billion, which obviously would want that, of course, I would want Nio to continue obviously making that their, of course, cash and cash equivalents remain strong, as it, of course, makes their balance sheet to be stronger, as the money can be used for short-term obligations and operation expenses. So I know that part of the reason why maybe the cash and cash equivalents, or the cash and cash equivalent that Nio had is low. Probably it's due to the maybe R&D or research and development projects that Nio is currently doing. Now, Nio, for the 2022 gross margin, they reported a 10.4%, which was lower than the 18 or over 18% gross margin they had reported in 2021, which obviously, yeah, it is of course not good to see gross margin coming down, as obviously this means that of course when they sell, or when they were selling their cars, on average the amount of money they were retaining back to the company after sales is becoming, or became, smaller than what was compared, or it became lower than what it was in 2021, which is something that is not good. So yeah, I would like to also see the gross margins improving going to the future, as this is very important also. This is the one thing that obviously will make Nio to attract more and more investors into coming and invest in Nio stock. Otherwise, we thought that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates as to what is that we got to see from the Nio's Q4 earnings, and of course the February deliveries. Which, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, well, don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click the notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And before you load the boat onto this Nio stock, please do make sure that you do your own GD. You go out there, you actually go and look and check these earnings for yourself, so that at least when you invest or increase your holdings or buy Nio for the very first time, you at least know what are Nio's, or what are the latest earnings of Nio looking like. So otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.